Okay, so today I want to talk to you about the Samaritan woman. The Samaritan woman is a woman that had a very promiscuous, you know what? Not a promiscuous, but she had lots of husbands. So she wasn't well welcome in her town. She was still a Samaritan woman, and um she wasn't proud of herself, I guess. So when Jesus was traveling from one place to another, he had to go through Samaria, and we're gonna read this story about the Samaritan woman. This is the interesting thing that it says here, but he needed to go through Samaria. So Jesus Christ was traveling, and he needed to go through Samaria. Okay. So he came to the city of Samaria, which is called Sychar, near the plot of Joseph. Now Joseph's well was there. Jesus, therefore, being wearied, which was tired, from his journey, sat by the well at about the 6th hour. Now the 6th hour, according to what I read, it is not 6 a.m. and it's not 6 p.m. It was 12 noon. So 12 noon, it was hot. It was very um it wasn't cool. It was just the hot part of the day. And the Samaritan, so he knew that obviously he's Jesus, he's God. So he needed to go through Samaria because he wanted to stop at the well and meet with this woman that was going to come and get water at 12 noon, because to get water from the well back in the day, it was in the evening when it was very cool. But the Samaritan woman was very ashamed of herself that she didn't want to have any encounter with nobody, because she didn't have a life that she wanted to talk about, let alone be seen in public. Okay. So here we go. A woman of Samaria came to draw water. Jesus said to her, "Give me a drink." For his disciples has gone away to go buy food, so they went to get lunch. Then the woman of Samaria said to him, "How is it that you, being a Jew, ask a drink from me, a Samaritan woman? For the Jews have no dealings with Samaritans." Jesus answered and said to her, "If you knew the gift of God and who it is who says to you, 'Give me a drink,' would you have asked him, and he would have given you living water?" The woman said to him, "Sir, you have nothing to draw with, and the well is deep. Where then do you are going to get me living water? Are you greater than our father Jacob, who has given us the well and drank from it himself, as well as his sons and his livestock?" Jesus answered and said to her, "Whoever drinks of this water will thirst again, but whoever drinks of the water that I shall give him will never thirst, will never thirst. But the water that I give you will come from the fountain of the let me read that again. But the water that I shall give him will become in him a fountain of water springing up into everlasting life." The woman said to him, oh, the woman said to him, "Sir, give me this water that I may not thirst, nor come here to draw." So when I read this type of conversation when Jesus was having with people, I always put myself in the position, like in this case, the Samaritan woman, right? A little bit condescending, a little bit sarcastic, because she says, "Where then do you plan to get this living water? Are you greater than their father Jacob, who gave us the well to drink from, as well as his sons and his livestock. So she's like, where are you gonna get, you don't, you're asking me for what, you're asking me for water because you don't have nothing to get water from, but you're offering me living water. It makes no sense at all. And so Jesus breaks it down to her, right? Whoever drinks of this water will thirst again, but whoever drinks of the water that I shall give him will never thirst. But the water that I shall give him will become in him a fountain of water springing up into everlasting life. So the woman said, okay, sir, give me some of this water that I may not thirst, nor I come here to draw. So she was, okay, well, if I'm not going to thirst again, then give me some of that water so I won't have to come here again. Let's continue. Let's continue. Let's continue. The woman said to her, give me some water. So Jesus said to her, go call your husband and come here. Jesus said, yeah, I'll give you water. Just go grab your husband. The woman answered, I have no husband. Jesus said to her, you have well said, I have no husband. For you have had 5 husbands. Whom you now, and the one that you live with, let me read that again. You have no husband, but you have had 5 husbands, and the one whom you have now is not your husband. In that you spoke truly. And Jesus knew that this lady had multiple husbands. Jesus knew that this lady had another husband that wasn't her husband. She was just living there. And this is the beauty about Christ, is that he knows where you're at in life. He wants to meet you right where you're at. He wants to come to you. That's why he had to go through Samaria. He needed to go through Samaria, according to what we just read. And being that he had to go through Samaria, he wanted to come to this woman. And while they were having this conversation, she was very truthful to Jesus Christ. She was very, very, very truthful in answering his question. And she didn't lie. She was like, yeah, I do, as opposed to, So, what does that mean for us? That means that when Jesus meets you in the lowest part of your life, financially, spiritually, emotionally, with your kids, with your spouse, with your job, he wants you to be truthful. He wants us to, if he asks us a question, hey, what's going on? Just be truthful. He already knows. He just wants us to confess to him. He wants us to be truthful with him. He wants us to not lie. And he's going to help us. He's going to help us. Let's continue. Okay. All right. So then Jesus says to her, woman, believe me, the hour is coming when you will neither on this mountain nor in Jerusalem worship the Father. You will worship what you will worship what you do not know. We know what we worship, for salvation is for the Jews, but the hour is coming, and now is, when the true worshipers will worship the Father in spirit and in truth. For the Father is seeking such worship to worship Him. God is spirit, and those who worship him must worship him in the spirit and in truth. The woman said to him, I know the Messiah is coming, who is called the Christ. When he comes, he will tell us all things. And Jesus said to her, I who speak to you is him. So yeah, and where are you in life with God? Where are you in life with your family, with yourself as a person? Because just like this Samaritan woman, if you're ready to receive him in your life, and if you're ready to receive him, to receive Christ as your Lord and Savior, it's a beautiful thing. And he will give you living water where we shall not thirst again. But at the same time, we would have to be truthful. And I think that's the message, is we need to be more like the Samaritan woman and be truthful to God. If there's people living a life that they want to get out, just, hey, Lord, I need help with this. Get me out. Get me out. I don't want to be in here. I need your help. And, and sometimes we don't know what to do because we don't know how to. We isolate ourselves like the Samaritan woman. She went out to go get water at 12 noon. 12 noon, it was really, really hot. She wanted to avoid people. She wanted to go to the well, draw some water, and go back home to the man that she was living with that was not her husband. And that's the thing, that's being in communion with people helps a lot. Going to a church helps a lot. Although nowadays, which church will fit your time frame, right? Nobody knows. You don't know, but God knows. God knows. Well, that being said, God bless you. It is Thanksgiving weekend 2025, so I hope that everybody had an amazing, amazing Thanksgiving. And yeah, God will meet you where you're at. God will come to you. And you can worship God anywhere you're at. All right, guys. God bless you. And let's move forward.